evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this Channel 28 broadcast of Shrewsbury High School Athletics. I'm Engel, and it is Wednesday, January 3rd, 2018. I'm here at North Star Ice Sports in Westboro, Mass., where the boys ice hockey team will be taking on the St. John's Pioneers. The 4-0-1 Colonials are coming off a huge 5-1 victory over D1 opponent Framingham last Saturday and carry a 3-game win streak into this game against another Division I opponent. I'm not sure anything needs to be said to explain the significance of this game, both on and off the ice. This game has been circled on many calendars since the schedule first came out, and as is the case when these two schools face off in any sport, this one promises to be something special. St. John's holds a commanding lead in the all-time matchup, but Shrewsbury is 2-1-1 in the last 4 games of this long rivalry, including last season's 3-0 Colonials victory, their first ever shutout of their crosstown rival. Last season carries no weight into this game, though, as when these two teams get together, everything goes out the window. This rivalry has seen 81 points scored in a football game between two good defenses. This rivalry has seen 3 runs scored in an extra inning baseball game between two good offenses. This rivalry has seen an eventual 2-18 basketball team beat an eventual state semifinalist. This rivalry is about to pit two teams against one another who carry in a combined 8-1-2 record, having outscored their opponents a combined 47-14. It's Shrewsbury St. John's, and it's coming up next. We're about ready to get underway here in Westboro. It's the Quinlivan-Boris line starting for the Colonials with Tommy Belbin and Connell Persicino back on D. Patrick Shaughnessy starting net for Shrewsbury. Some pushing before the puck is even dropped, and we're ready to go. At the opening faceoff, Tyler Boris will take it up the left side. He chips it in. St. John's picks it up along the goal line, sends it along the boards. Tom Belbin's there to keep the puck in. He sends it all the way back in. Almost shot it out of play, but it gets all the way around the net, and Ian Quinlivan will chase it down. Quinlivan ties a man up, and he gets the puck back behind the net. Now Anthony lays a hit down on the sideboards. Tyler Boris battles for it. He pushes it over to Liam. Liam leaves it back for him, but St. John's picks it up behind the net. Loses the puck now. Anthony makes a hit. Now Liam will pick it up. Liam moves it down to Tyler Boris. Tyler Boris in the corner with the puck now, looking for a pass. Sends it up front, but no one's there, so Thomas Belbin will pick it up. Belbin shoots towards the net. It's on net, played down low. Shrewsbury, St. John's gets it. Throws it all the way down. And Mr. Ward will throw the puck back onto the ice. The St. John's player is down now. He was run into late after the play. Shrewsbury was assessed a penalty. Walter will come out to check on him, and we'll be back in a second. Tyler Boris is assessed a roughing penalty there. The Colonials will be shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. That was 45 seconds into the period. Faceoff's one forward there by James Tepper, but St. John's picks it up at the point and moves it down low. St. John's goes across, no one's there. That'll get all the way out to the point. Just kept in. Tepper, the penalty killing forwards for Shrewsbury. Persicino's still on the ice. With Tommy Belbin killing the penalty for Shrewsbury. St. John's goes to the point now. That shot's blocked. Good job there by Jack Tepper to get in the way. Tepper will pick it up. And on his backhand, he'll get it up. That'll go all the way down, being chased down now by James Tepper. James Tepper on that defenseman. He's able to get the pass away. Now St. John's has it. They're coming up ice. That breakout pass is just too far ahead of that forward. He has to chip it in. Persicino's going to win the race to it. He backhands it all the way around, where it's picked up by St. John's. Good job getting there by Jack Tepper to force that down low. St. John's still has it now, though. At the point with it now is St. John's. They get one. Got through the two Shrewsbury players, but it hit St. John's leg and bounced into the corner. St. John's has possession of it. And off of what appeared to be the back shoulder of Patrick Shaughnessy, that goes into the net. And 1 minute and 38 seconds here into the first period, St. John's takes a 1-0 lead over the Colonials. Following the goal, Anthony and Liam Quinlivan will take the ice for Shrewsbury. And with Tyler Boris still in the penalty box, James Tepper will play right wing. Refs having a discussion right now with St. John's players in the penalty box for something that happened after the goal was scored. A second player now being asked to join him in the box, it appears. It might have been a misconduct penalty for something that happened after the goal. We'll get back to you when we find out what this is. We're back here at North Star. The Colonials will be on a power play for the next 2 minutes once the refs decide they want to drop the puck for real. Something that happened after the play earned a St. John's player a minor penalty. There's 2 players in the box, so it looks like there might have been a misconduct in addition to that. So Shrewsbury will be on the power play for the next 2 minutes. Here with 13:22 remaining in the first. It'll be Quinlivan Tepper, and then Peter Belbin is joining Connell Persicino at defense. Anthony set to take the face-off at center ice. He wins it over to Liam. Liam coming up ice now. Liam tries to toe drag a one-blown player. Moves to the box. St. John's picks it up. They get it out and all the way down. Shaughnessy come out to play that over to Peter Belbin. Peter Belbin picks it up, takes behind the net. With one forechecker on, he has to spin around. That's going to be picked up by Quinlivan. Anthony Quinlivan coming up ice. Blows by one player and enters the zone. He's got James Tepper over on his right. He gives it to him. Tepper can't stick handle around. That almost got under the goalie's leg, but he was able to react just in time, make the stop. Tepper had about 5 feet of breakaway there. He tried to go all the way around the goalie, but he lost the puck at the last second. Couldn't regain control of it. Goalie was able to freeze the puck. It'll be an offensive zone face-off for Shrewsbury now with 1:35 left on the penalty. Anthony set to take a face-off in the offensive zone now. St. John's will win that one. And they were able to get the puck out of the zone. Peter Belbin's able to stop it from going all the way down, but St. John's picks it up. They get a shot as Connell was all over that. Shaughnessy freezes that puck with 1:27 now left in the Colonials power play. There'll be a face-off inside the Shrewsbury zone. Still Quinlivan and James Tepper for Shrewsbury. Tom Belbin now joining Persicino at defense.
Still has his, right?
That face-off got caught behind Liam. St. John's player was able to get a stick on it, push it towards Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy was able to cover it up. 1:24 now left on the St. John's penalty. Colonials taking another offensive zone draw on the power play. St. John's is able to get a backhand towards the net. Gets blocked, and now the Colonials have it. Moved up to Tepper. Tepper pokes it over for Anthony. Anthony picks it up, and he's got one on him. He stops in head of the blue line. Moves it back to Belbin. Belbin now has it, walks towards center ice. He's at the red line now. Passes it ahead for Liam. Liam has it. He's in the high slot. He gets a shot on net. Good save there by St. John's. Covers the puck with 1:01 now remaining on the power play. It was slow moving, but the Colonials were able to enter the zone with possession. Got a shot on net from the high slot, but a good save there. As Jack Tepper now joins Anthony and Liam on the power play. St. John's wins that face-off. They send it all the way around. Persicino's able to get to it. He keeps it in. Sends it down for Jack. Jack loses the puck, though. St. John's is able to get that one out. That squirts by the skate of Persicino. Belbin passes it over to him, and Persicino moves it up for Anthony. Anthony enters the zone with it. He stick goes the one player. He shoots it off the post. It kicks out. Shrewsbury can't put it back in. Jack Tepper picks it up high. He fires one towards the net. Anthony races for it down into the corner. Anthony leads it back. Persicino's got it at the point. He sends it down low for Jack, who leaves it for Anthony. Anthony has it. He sends it back up to Persicino at the point. Persicino shoots one towards the net. That's blocked in front. Tepper picks it up. He fires one towards the net. Good save there. St. John's is able to get the rebound, but couldn't get the puck out. Good keep in there by Persicino as Liam now has it on the side boards. Liam now works the puck back up to the point. Persicino goes over to Tom Belbin. Belbin goes down low, backdoor. That was over to Liam, who went across to Anthony. Anthony hit him to the side of the net. And with 2 seconds left in the penalty, St. John's gets it clear, and that's the end of the St. John's penalty. Some great pressure there by the Colonials. A couple chances, but they couldn't cash in. Now Jack Tepper enters the zone. Leaves it for Liam. They lose the puck. St. John's gets it out. That'll go out of play. There's 11:10 remaining here in the first period. 1-0 Pioneers. Puck coming back into the St. John's zone, so it'll be an offensive zone draw for the Colonials. Jack Tepper set to take the face-off for Cole Russo and James Tepper, as his line mates Peter Belbin and Cam Mullen are back on D. Everyone's tied up after the face-off, still fighting for the puck. It's in the circle. St. John's comes away with it. They're able to flip it out of the zone. Not a clean pass, though, so Cam Mullen's all over that. Cam Mullen comes away with the puck there, and he chips it out. It'll go all the way down for an ice, though. 10:53 remaining here in the first period, and the faceoff's going to come all the way back into the Shrewsbury zone. Foliona's coming onto the ice now to join Peter Belbin. Still the Tepper-Rooster line out there on forward. St. John's wins that face-off. They have it in the corner now. Russo's able to check that man and get the puck away. And the puck gets out of the zone. St. John's tries to throw it back in, but Jack Tepper's able to block that and pick it up and take it into the zone. Keep possession up for a second, but then loses the puck into the corner. Russo will pick it up. Russo behind the net now. He gets hit and loses the puck, and now St. John's has it. They send it along, able to catch the pass. Peter Belbin was able to force that chip forward. Shrewsbury throws it back into the load offsides, but St. John's gets it and takes it out. Jack Tepper lays a big hit there on the player. As he fires the puck into the zone, Peter Belbin's going to send it along. James Tepper picks it up. He gets tripped up. Keeps the puck there. Tepper has it now as he runs through somebody. Shot there on Shaughnessy, who's easily able to play that, and Leonis plays it over the corner. It's played around the net now for Russo. Russo sends it behind the net, but St. John's is there to pick it up. St. John's with possession down low now. Peter Belbin gets it. He gets it out, just barely, as the defenseman misplays it. It's thrown back in on Shaughnessy, who plays it over to Peter Belbin. Belbin with a breakout pass to Anthony, and then Anthony's going to get it over to Tyler Boris, who misses the pass. And then I'll go all the way down for an ice there with 9:36 remaining in the first period. Some good pressure and some good body contact by the Colonials, but they were unable to successfully break the puck out of the zone. Going to be a defensive zone draw for Shrewsbury here with Quinlivan, and Tyler Boris on the ice. Tyler Boris comes away with that one. He's taking it behind the net now on his backhand. Loses the puck momentarily. St. John's gets it. Tom Belbin's able to play that forward, and Anthony gets it. Backhands it over to Liam. Liam's coming up with it now. He's able to get one by one defenseman. He moves to the net. He's taking those around. Gets a shot, but the leg pad by the goalie there. St. John's has it now in the corner. And they pass it out. Good hit there by Persicino. As that player dumps the puck into the zone where it's picked up by Tom Belbin. Belbin's going to fire it all the way around where Liam leaves it there. Back into the zone there goes St. John's. The late offside, but Shrewsbury will get possession. Tyler Boris flips it up and out of the zone. St. John's picks it up, fires it up. Anthony's able to get a piece of that. St. John's will pick it up though and throw it back in. Puck travels all the way into the far corner. Anthony gets it. He goes for the no look. It gets out of the zone. St. John's has it and they're going to throw it back in. Anthony will pick it up now. He loses the puck. St. John's picks it up. They're in the slot on the backhand. They get a shot. Shaughnessy's able to make that glove save there with 8:35 remaining in the first. Bad turnover there for Shrewsbury. St. John's was able to work their way down low. Get a backhand shot just below the hash marks, but a good job of Shaughnessy taking the angle and able to make that save. After that play, Anthony Quinlivan was just sent to the box. And on a call that hasn't yet been made, Anthony Quinlivan is serving a two-minute penalty. Slashing penalty called on Anthony, and the Colonials will be shorthanded again. Faceoff goes to the side. St. John's comes away with it. They work it out to the point, and then back down low. St. John's throws it in front, but no one's there. They pick it up at the point. Tepper and Tepper, the penalty killing forwards right now for Shrewsbury. Persicino and Peter Belbin, the defense. Cycling the puck around to St. John's. Pass in front to nobody. Shrewsbury gets it. Jack Tepper clears it out of the zone, but it hits the ceiling, and that's going to come back into the zone. Minute 37 still remaining here on the Quinlivan penalty. Tyler Boris is going to come on now to join James Tepper on the penalty kill. Face-off one there by St. John's. They get a shot on net. Shaughnessy's able to play that to the side. St. John's crashing in though. They have possession of it now. 1:30 left on the penalty. That shot was blocked by Liam Quinlivan. It went up into the netting, but play remains. And that one, after Persicino hit it out, went up to St. John's sticking out. Ref saying the puck is going to stay inside the Shrewsbury zone though for the face-off with 1:21 remaining on the Anthony Quinlivan penalty. Liam Quinlivan and Tyler Boris killing the penalty now for Shrewsbury. Boris is able to win that face-off back. Tom Belbin gets it. Fires it out, goes up to St. John's body. He recovers and gets it out of the zone. St. John's is going to pick it up in the neutral zone now. They pass it up. They go for the far pass, and that goes offsides. 1:08 remaining here, and the Anthony Quinlivan penalty. Jack Tepper now coming on to join Tyler Boris on the penalty kill. Como Persicino will take Peter Belbin's spot and join Tommy Belbin on the penalty kill. St. John's wins that one back, but Jack Tepper comes away with it. He sticks on his row one player, backhands it into the St. John's zone. It's caught by St. John's defenseman who takes it up. Tyler Boris gets in the defensive zone. He's able to get the puck out of the zone. That'll go all the way down. 50 seconds now remaining on the Anthony Quinlivan penalty as the St. John's goalie plays behind the net, and Jack Tepper's chasing him. Pass ahead is good, and St. John's enters the zone now. That shot went off Tommy Belbin's leg. St. John's picks it up, works it out to the point. Jack Tepper with no stick, racing toward the point, forces that shot. Now St. John's has possession of it down low. They work it out to the point with a screen in front. They shoot. Shaughnessy is able to make that save in front with the leg. Gets thrown back out in front. Tommy Belbin's the only one there. St. John's can't keep that one in. 20 seconds now remaining in the penalty. St. John's on the power play unwisely throws it back in. Shaughnessy will play it to Persicino, and Persicino throws it ahead for Tyler Boris. 10 seconds now remaining on the penalty. St. John's enters the zone, coming in on Tom Belbin. That shot gets through. Shaughnessy almost misplayed it, but was able to keep it. There are 6 seconds now remaining on the Anthony Quinlivan penalty. 6:40 left in the period. It's still 1-0 Pioneers. With the penalty set to expire soon, it's Liam Quinlivan and James Tepper on the ice for Shrewsbury. Anthony Quinlivan looks like he's ready to jump right onto the ice in 6 seconds. Liam wins it back. Belbin gets it, and he's able to get it out. Liam coming around to the ice, Anthony coming on right onto the ice for Shrewsbury. After the expiration of the penalty, St. John's able to force that turnover. They take it in. Tom Belbin's going to take it up. He goes behind the net with it, goes to the bank pass, and Anthony Quinlivan's taking up ice now. Anthony Quinlivan enters the zone. Tries to get by one defender, but can't. Keeps possession of the puck and gets it over to James Tepper. Tepper has it. Goes for the backhand sauce pass to Anthony Quinlivan. And now the St. John's player is going to win the race for this. He's on a breakaway. He gets around Shaughnessy and scores. 6:06 remaining in the first period. It's 2-0 St. John's. Puck is slipped into center ice, and the St. John's forward was able to win the race to it and get a move around Pat Shaughnessy, who tried to come out and play the puck, but it was too late. Colonials find themselves down 2 goals halfway through the first year. It'll be Quinlivan, and Boris now on the ice for Shrewsbury. Liam will pick that up off the faceoff. He comes in with it. He gets a shot. That goes wide. Anthony's going to win the race to it. He puts it back in on his backhand, but St. John's is going to get it. St. John's able to get out of the zone. Persicino's going to throw it back in, delayed it offside from Shrewsbury. But now it's good. Now Tyler Boris is coming back in. Good keep there by Cam Mullen. Tyler Boris has it. He looks over for Liam Quinlivan. Comes back away with it, does Tyler Boris, and then he gets it low to Liam. Liam comes around with it now. He throws it in front. It was there, but Tyler Boris wasn't quite in the right spot. It was too far out for him. And then Cam Mullen's going to have to throw it back in. Liam comes away with that one after winning the puck battle. He throws it up front, but St. John's is going to get it. St. John's is going to throw it all the way down. That'll go for an ice. 5:17 remaining here in the first period. Shrewsbury still down 2-0, but about to take an offensive zone draw as Tepper, and Russo are coming onto the ice for Shrewsbury. Defensemen joining them are Joe Flionis and Tommy Belbin. Jack Tepper taking this offensive zone draw. Play to the side. James Tepper picks it up. He moves it out to Flionis. Flionis fires one towards the net, but that goes wide. St. John's wins the race to it. They move it behind the net. Go around the corner. Pass caught there by the St. John's defenseman. Well, Russo's all over that. Jack Tepper gets it. He throws it towards the net, but that goes wide. St. John's is going to pick it up. St. John's gets the puck out of the zone, but can't complete a pass. Jack Tepper hits it ahead. Loses the puck now, and St. John's has it. That pass over is good. And no goal there. And then it's thrown in. That was misplayed by the defenseman on the ice, and St. John's had another mini breakaway. They moved around Shaughnessy. The first one wasn't able to get in. But with some confusion as to what the original call was, St. John's was able to pick the puck up and throw it in to take a 3-0 lead here with 4:48 remaining in just the first period. Shrewsbury find themselves in a huge hole here early in the game. But in their first game of the season, Shrewsbury was also down 3-0 in Norwell and came back to win. Tyler Boris gets that and chips it ahead. St. John's taking it into their zone. Liam comes away with it but loses the puck. St. John's chips it ahead. Racing for the puck now, St. John's, and Cam Mullen doesn't quite get there. St. John's moves that one ahead. Shaughnessy is able to come out and make the save there. Shrewsbury loses the puck in front. They fire towards the net. Hacking at Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy comes out and makes another save. Shrewsbury can't get it out. That took a weird hop on Shaughnessy, who was able to make the save. Shrewsbury still can't break the puck out or gain possession of it inside the defensive zone. Liam has it now, and he slowly brings it out. Passes ahead for Anthony. Anthony moves around one player, gets hit. Liam's going to pick the puck up. Good diving stop there by the St. John's defenseman on Liam. That puck was shot out, but now Liam Quinlivan's going to get a penalty. 4:03 here remaining in the first. Shrewsbury down 3-0, and they're about to be shorthanded for another 2 minutes as Liam Quinlivan goes to the box. With that penalty, the puck's going to come all the way back into the Shrewsbury zone for a defensive zone faceoff. Roughing the call on Quinlivan. It'll be Tepper and Tepper killing the penalty for Shrewsbury with Tommy Belbin and Connell Persicino back on D. It's been all St. John's here so far, so this is a huge kill for Shrewsbury. Hoping to keep from going down by 4 goals and maybe pick up some momentum back in their favor. St. John's wins that draw as faceoffs continue to be a problem for Shrewsbury. Belbin plays that one ahead. He's able to get the puck out of the zone and then all the way back into St. John's zone. James Tepper's all over that. St. John's is able to get it. James Tepper's able to catch up though. St. John's eventually is able to break out, but then loses the puck. Jack Tepper almost comes away with it now as St. John's has it coming up ice. Persicino's able to poke that one forward. Tepper kicks that pass away and then gets a piece of that one. A good forecheck here on the penalty kill by Jack Tepper. St. John's gets it out. And that pass there that now is good, and now they're entering the zone. Shot there is blocked by Tommy Belbin. St. John's still in possession of it inside the zone. They throw it behind the net. They're there to pick it up. Minute 15 remaining now on this penalty. St. John's has possession of it in the offensive zone. That shot was blocked by Jack Tepper. Sent to the side, but St. John's still in possession of the puck. Backhand pass to the point is good. Then they work it down low. They work it over, but that puck is cleared to the boards by Connell Persicino. St. John's works it out now. And that puck's able to be brought out by James Tepper. He races for it, but he's hit down as he's racing for the puck. 45 seconds now remaining on the penalty to Quinlivan. St. John's has possession of the puck inside their defensive zone, and they bring it up ice. That pass is over, and they enter the zone. That shot goes wide. They win a race to it. Tyler Boris gets it now. He backhands it around, but that's going to be kept in by St. John's. 30 seconds now remaining on the penalty. That D-to-D pass is barely good and sent back in. Persicino will get there. He wins the battle for that puck. Gets around one player. And he's able to ship it out. Less than 20 seconds now remaining on the penalty. Paul Russo comes on to join Tyler Boris on the penalty kill. Icing is the call there as the St. John's forward did not get a stick on it. There are 10 seconds left in the penalty. 2:12 left in the period, and the puck will come all the way into the St. John's zone. Russo and Boris, the penalty-killing forwards, about to take the offensive zone draw. Mike Walton and Cam Mullen are back on defense. St. John's wins that face-off and coming out of the zone with it now. Well, Russo chasing that man down as it's thrown all the way down. Shaughnessy come out to stop it, but St. John's is going to win that race. Boris has it as the penalty expires. He flips it way too far ahead for Liam. It's played up to St. John's glove, so that's not an ice. Liam ends up winning the race to the puck. Trying to work around a few players, but loses the puck. St. John's will go behind the net. They pick it up on the sideboards now. That pass is no good, but they do get it out of the zone. Now Cam Mullen's racing for it. Mullen can't quite get that out of the zone. It's thrown back in. Now Mike Walton will win that race to the puck. Walton gets around one player and is moving up ice with it now. Loses the puck there, does Walton. No one can pick it up in front. Walton's able to smack the puck out of the zone. Anthony's going to pick it up in the neutral zone. Anthony gets around one player. He's entering the zone. Leaves it for Liam. Liam loses the puck. He tries to get over for Tyler Boris. St. John's gets it out of the zone. There's a minute 15 remaining here in the first period. St. John's coming into the zone. Player got around Persicino but lost the puck as Persicino was able to hit it away. That was thrown to the point, but it gets by him. Now Anthony has it, coming in on one-on-one. Anthony moves around one player, shoots. That was blocked with a minute left here in the first period. Liam can't quite pick that up in front. Boris gets it over to Anthony. Anthony's alone in front. Waited too long, but now St. John's took a penalty there. There are 50 seconds remaining here in the first period, and Shrewsbury is going to go to the power play after St. John's took an interference penalty. Quinlivan was all alone in front, but the goalie took a good angle, so Anthony had nothing to shoot at.
Tell him he needs a haircut.
But he held it long enough to draw a penalty. Shrewsbury is going to be on the power play for the next 2 minutes. Tyler Boris, Anthony Quinlivan, and James Tepper, the power play forwards here for Shrewsbury, looking to put one in the last 50 seconds of the period. St. John's wins that face-off, sends it all the way around. Persicino's able to keep that in. James Tepper has it. He leaves it for Persicino at the point. Persicino goes D-to-D over to Tom Belbin. Belbin works it down low to Quinlivan. Quinlivan gets it out to Belbin. Belbin throws it towards the net. That gets through the bodies, but good save there by St. John's. There's 32 seconds now left in the period. Liam Quinlivan hopping the boards now. Coming on to join the forwards is Tyler Boris, is going to move back to the point with Persicino. St. John's wins that face-off. Can't get it out as a stop by Persicino. Persicino's pass is too hard for Anthony. But Anthony is able to intercept that. Looking back for Persicino, but it gets by. And now St. John's racing forward. Anthony trying to catch up. St. John's picks that one up. They never got the shot off, and now Persicino will take that pass. 10 seconds left in the period. Tyler Boris taking it up from behind the net. Tyler Boris now looking at the clock. Tries to get by one player. Loosens the puck. There will be a minute 10 left on the penalty for Shrewsbury to hopefully score on the power play when they come back for the second. But for now, the Colonials will enter the first intermission down 3-0 to St. John's. We're ready to get underway here for the second period. The Colonials will still be on the power play for the next 1 minute, 10 seconds. Quinlivan, and James Tepper taking the power play for the Colonials. St. John's comes away with it, and they pass it up. On the penalty kill, St. John's into his zone. Tyler Boris and Colonel Persicino are back on defense during the power play for the Colonials. That one was hit away by Anthony, and so Tyler Boris will pick it up and take it up ice. Boris is to curl back with it. He gets it over to Persicino. An aggressive penalty kill here for St. John's as they force a turnover there. Throw it back in, and Persicino's going to have to pick it up behind the net with 40 seconds remaining on the power play. Persicino gets it to Boris, and then Boris goes far side for Anthony Quinlivan. Quinlivan bringing it to the zone. He lets one go. Good save there by St. John's. They have to swallow that up with 31 seconds left here on the St. John's penalty. Shrewsbury ready to take an offensive zone draw on the power play. It'll still be Quinlivan, and Tepper as Anthony's ready to take the face off in the offensive zone. Anthony's able to win that and leave it for Tepper. Tepper goes up to Persicino. Persicino shoots. That shot's blocked by St. John's stick. Shrewsbury wins the race to it, but that pass goes all the way around. St. John's is going to win that race. Tyler Boris, though, with a good step up. He was able to keep it in. He's out there looking for Liam. That shot goes wide down. I have to move it out to Persicino at the point. Persicino goes back down low for Anthony. Anthony moves it down low for Liam. Less than 10 seconds remaining now on the penalty. Persicino has it at the point and moves it back down low for Liam. Liam shoots. That goes wide. That'll come all the way around and get out. Penalty's going to expire in a second. Persicino loses his footing. Now St. John's is coming up with it. They're on a breakaway. St. John's coming in. They shoot, and that's in. A minute and 17 seconds here into the second period, just after the penalty expires. Another turnover for the Colonials. And they fall 4-0 here early in the second period to the St. John's Pioneers. Connor, Albertson, and Holloway out for Shrewsbury right now. Mike Walton, Tommy Belbin back on defense. That faceoff's won back by O'Connor, but it splits. That's Cam Mullen and Tom Belbin. That goes out front, but it's going to be picked up by Albertson. Albertson makes it off the boards, and Holloway's going to pick it up. Good hustle there by Holloway. He's able to win the race. Gets by one player, pushes the puck ahead of him. It can't be kept in there by Mullen. Mullen turns the puck over, now St. John's entering the zone. They get a shot. Good save there by Shaughnessy. Albertson picks that one up and loses the puck. Good block there by Holloway. Albertson can't make the puck out of the zone there, though. Digging for the puck. Albertson comes away with it, but loses it. Still hacking away at it is Mullen. St. John's comes away with it. Shaughnessy's got it now. That's covered up. It's picked loose, but the whistle had already been blown. We're still only a minute and 58 seconds here into the second period, and the Colonials still trail St. John's 4-0. Tepper, Russo coming into the ice here for Shrewsbury. Face-off there is won by St. John's. They curl back in and work it down low. Passes in the skates, and Shrewsbury comes away with it. Persicino now has the puck. He sends it up. Tepper loses the puck. He's able to poke it, though. St. John's somehow keeps it in. Then it's kicked out by Persicino. St. John's has it in the neutral zone now, and they'll throw it back in. It's picked up by Jack Tepper. Tepper goes for the pass. Goes into a St. John's body, though. St. John's has it. They move to the net. Shaughnessy was just run into by a St. John's player, but no call. Now Tepper's racing out of the puck. He gets by one player. There's another on him. And now Tepper's tripped up, and that'll go for a penalty. James Tepper with a good rush. He was able to draw a tripping penalty there. With 12:24 remaining here in the second period, the Colonials will go on the power play. Quinlivan and James Tepper, the power play forwards here for Shrewsbury. Tommy Belbin's back on D, and he's joined by Tyler Boris. Anthony gets it over to Liam. Liam makes a move to the net. Gets stopped there. St. John's picks it up. They can't quite get it out. There was Tyler Boris able to stop it at the point, but he loses the puck. It gets out. Tyler Boris able to stick handle around one player, though, and get it over to Tommy Belbin. Belbin curls back and gets it back over to Anthony. Anthony pushes the puck too far ahead of him now, though, and he has to curl back. 20 seconds now gone from the power play, and Shrewsbury's yet to control the puck inside the offensive zone. Liam has it now. He enters the zone on the far right side. Liam coming all the way around in his forehand. He goes behind net. He looks for James Tepper. Tepper loses the puck, picks it back up in the slot. He shoots. Good save there, but St. John's is going to pick up the rebound. They fire it out. Almost a completed pass there, but Tyler Boris is able to pick it up. He goes far side for Liam. Liam enters the zone, just on sides. Liam shoots. That goes off the boards and up into the netting. A minute 11 here remaining on the Colonials' power play. And as that didn't hit any St. John's player or sticks, puck's going to come out of the zone into the neutral zone. It'll still be Quinlivan and Tepper on the ice for Colonials. Still Boris and Tommy Belbin back on D. Anthony wins that face-off back. Tepper plays it back to Boris. Boris curls around. Again, good pressure here on the penalty kill by St. John's. Tyler Boris bringing it up from behind the net now. Boris is able to get around that first player. He's coming up ice with it now. Tyler Boris enters the zone. Tyler Boris comes back. He's working the puck towards the center of the ice. He shoots. Blocked there by St. John's. It's picked up by Tepper. Tepper shoots from the high slot. That shot's too high. Liam lets Anthony take it. Anthony has it on the sideboards now. He moves it over to Tommy Belbin at the point. 30 seconds now remaining on the power play. Tepper goes to shoot. He's bodied and has to curl back. Tepper goes to the far pass over to Liam. Liam leaves it for Anthony. Anthony has it. He goes back door. Pass wasn't good, and St. John's gets the clearance. Tommy Belbin has to chase it down with two St. John's Pioneers on him. Belbin clears it out. Someone's right there. They move it over. Shaughnessy's able to poke that one away, but Shrewsbury can't get possession of it. Now they do. James Tepper comes away with it, but there's only 7 seconds remaining now on the St. John's penalty. Tepper goes to the far pass over to Liam. Liam moves it up to Anthony. The pass is in the skates. It gets kicked ahead. That penalty is expired now. It's 5-on-5 hockey with the puck inside the St. John's zone. Liam plays that one that picks up the puck. Moves around. He finds Tyler Boris. Tyler Boris looking for James Tepper. That goes in. That was James Tepper's 4th goal of the season for Quinlivan and Boris, and with 10:10 remaining in the second period, Shrewsbury is on the board, but still down by 3 here to St. John's. O'Connor, Albertson, and Holloway coming into guys here for Shrewsbury. Mullen and Persicino back on D, looking to put a second one in for Shrewsbury. Mullen chases that one back into the zone. Pass is picked off by St. John's, and they have possession of it down below the goal line. Pass out front creates a shot on net, but with exactly 10 minutes remaining here in the second period, Shaughnessy is able to swallow that up. It'll be a defensive zone draw for Shrewsbury. Shot sent wide by Shaughnessy. Persicino picks it up, and then Holloway's able to chip it out of the zone. Good pressure there by O'Connor, but St. John's picks it back up. Holloway pushes it forward, but a lot of bodies running into each other in center of the ice. Persicino has it, he sends it back for Mullen. Mullen gets the pass ahead to Albertson, where O'Connor's going to pick it up. O'Connor gains the red line, dumps it in, it's being chased down by Holloway. Good forecheck there by Holloway, but St. John's comes up with the puck now. They run into each other now, as Quinlivan comes down. Tyler Boris on the ice too now, but St. John's picking it up ice. They get it outside the zone. Good step up there by Persicino. Persicino tries to flip it ahead for Liam. Too far ahead though, now Tyler Boris will come in. Tyler Boris makes a shot, makes a move, then takes a shot. Good save there by St. John's, and now St. John's has it coming off ice on a one-on-one on Tommy Belbin. Anthony Quinlivan, the back checker, move and a good shot block there by Tom Belbin. Great job there on the one-on-one. Now Anthony bringing it up ice. 9 minutes remaining here in the second period. Colonial still down by 3. Anthony tries to stick handle through too many Pioneers. Tyler Boris is going to pick it up. He shoots. Good save there by St. John's as Liam's going to pick up the rebound. Puck tied up down there. The whistle will blow. 8:47 here remaining in the second period.
Sending it all the way down. Is he serious?
And the ref is going to bring that puck outside of the zone. It'll be a neutral zone face-off as Tepper and Cole Russo come onto the ice for the Colonials. Both Belbins are back on D. Jack pushes that ahead to James. James is able to pick it up on his backhand now. He fires one over. Cole Russo with stick wasn't quite there to put it in. Jack Tepper fires one, but that goes wide. Peter Belbin racing forward. He can't quite get there to keep it in. Peter Belbin loses the puck. St. John's going to pick up in the zone. And after losing the race, Peter Belbin takes a hooking call there, and with 8:31 left in the second period, the Colonials again will be shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. Tepper and Tepper on to kill the penalty for Shrewsbury. Persicino coming on to join Tommy Belbin on the penalty kill. James is able to win that face-off to himself, and he gets it out. Now Jack Tepper picks it up. Coming into the zone is Jack Tepper. He takes it wide. Gets about one player, loses the puck, and it's hit into the net. Net comes off. 11 seconds here into the penalty kill. Puck comes outside the zone, which means the referee deemed that the net came off on Jack Tepper's own doing. It'll be Anthony Quinlivan and Tyler Boris now, the forwards, killing the penalty for Shrewsbury. Anthony comes away with that after the face-off. He chips it in. It's going to be chased after by Tyler Boris. St. John's enters the zone now and leaves it there for the point. They go far side, get into the slot. Good save there by Shaughnessy as that shot was wide open out in front. 40 seconds now gone from the penalty. St. John's cycling the puck around. That passes to the stick of Anthony Quinlivan, who will fire it all the way down. Anthony Quinlivan's stick couldn't quite get there. Now St. John's coming all the way down into the offensive zone now. Looking behind the net is St. John's. They're working it all the way around. Again, working it behind the net and now out to the point. Defenseman walks it, leaves it there. Pass wasn't caught, and Tommy Belbin's able to clear it all the way down. 40 seconds now remaining in the penalty. St. John's will pick it up and take it behind their net. Liam almost gets a stick on that, but the pass is good. Good job there by Cole Russo, able to block that pass. Liam ends up with it. He's got time to get something going. He gets around one player. Now speeds by another. Liam's got possession of it inside the offensive zone. He gets a shot. That's blocked out in front. Liam comes back up with it. He's pushed down, and now St. John's is coming out of the zone with it. Only 15 seconds left in the penalty now. Good job by Cam Mullen, and then he gets the puck up to Liam. 2-on-1 here for the Colonials with Liam Quinlivan and Cole Russo. Liam coming on the left side. He looks over for Russo, but a good job there by the defenseman to get a piece of that pass. Penalty's expired now, so it's 5-on-5 as St. John's has possession of it. They're looking to break out of the zone. James Tepper able to pick that off. He gets it over. Pass back to Tepper. He makes a good move, but the goalie's all over it. Good job by Tepper and Liam Quinlivan working the play down there. 6:21 remaining here in the second period. Back to 5-on-5. It's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Colonials as Tepper and Cole Russo are back together on one line. Defensemen on the ice now for Shrewsbury are Cam Mullen and Tommy Belbin. Tepper pushes that forward. St. John's gets possession of it. We keep in there by Mullen, but now the puck gets by him. Tommy Belbin's racing back. It's a 3-on-1 for St. John's. Belbin's diving stop is able to break that up. St. John's still able to keep it inside the zone. Tepper eventually able to get it out. Pass was just a little too far ahead of James, and now St. John's has it in their defensive zone. Saucer pass is no good, but another forward picks up for St. John's. Puck loose in the neutral zone now. Jack Tepper looks over for James. Pass too far ahead of him. St. John's will get it. Belbin picks it up and makes it over to Jack Tepper. St. John's fires it on Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy plays it into the corner. Belbin gets it up the boards. And now James Tepper racing up with it with 5.5 minutes remaining here in the second period. Tepper makes a move. Toe drag is no good. St. John's tries to pick it up. Gate get it. Tepper tries to toe drag it around another defender. Can't. St. John's gets the puck out. It's in the Shrewsbury zone. Persicino's able to get a piece of it and then gloves it to himself. And Persicino fired all the way around. It's too far ahead of Sam O'Connor. No ice there as the St. John's player took the wrong direction to the puck. O'Connor all over that. Holloway can't intercept that pass. Gets out to Persicino. Persicino pass too far ahead of Albertson. No ice there as the St. John's player. Same defenseman could have gotten a stick on that one. Good forecheck here by the Colonials. That was sent out for Holloway, but it got deflected out front. Holloway now wins that battle for the puck, and he sends it back down low. Albertson's going to chase that defenseman around the net. Albertson with a good hit there as he's able to play up body. St. John's is able to play the puck behind the net, though. St. John's, that pass is too far ahead, though, and Persicino's able to pick it off. Pass there ahead for Holloway. Holloway's able to throw in on that. Play to the side now as O'Connor's the forechecker there. That was kept in by Mullen, but it went out of play. Ref saying that'll come outside the zone. It'll be a neutral zone face-off with 4:27 remaining here in the second period. The Colonials still trail St. John's by 3 goals. Quinlivan and Boris coming on the ice for Shrewsbury. And Tommy Belbin's going to be joined by McManus on defense. Liam picks that one up. He can't stick handle around both St. John's players and loses the puck. St. John's not quite able to get the puck out of the zone. It's kept in there by Belbin. And though he made no signal, the ref now saying that was offsides. 4:18 remaining here in the second period. It'll be another neutral zone faceoff. Same players on the ice here for Shrewsbury as Anthony Quinlivan is set to take the faceoff just outside the St. John's zone. Puck gets tied up. St. John's eventually able to come away with it. Anthony Quinlivan pushes that player down. And though he didn't put his hand up, the ref now pointing at Anthony Quinlivan saying he's being assessed a penalty. It appeared. Ref skates away, so no penalty called. But a dead play. Puck back inside the St. John's zone, and now Anthony Quinlivan's going to be taking a face-off inside the offensive zone for Shrewsbury. Anthony Quinlivan pushes that ahead to himself. He goes out. Good keep in there by McManus, who has to throw it back in as he was off balance. Good job there by McManus to get that keep. It's there for Liam. Liam keeps it in. Tyler Boris couldn't get there. That goes all the way around. McManus with the aggressive play there. St. John's gets it out, but to Shrewsbury. Belbin stick handles row one player, but pushes it up. Went up with St. John's stick, and now Liam Quinlivan has possession of the puck. Can't stick handle around that player, and it's sent back into the zone where McManus will chase it down. McManus pass, no good to Boris, and now St. John's has it. St. John's enters the zone, but can't complete the pass, and Belbin will pick it up. Belbin's able to get that out of the zone, but into the neutral zone it goes, and St. John's has possession of it. That pass picked off there by Liam Quinlivan. Liam Quinlivan entering the zone now. He leaves it for Tyler Boris, but too far back. St. John's clears it out of the zone where Anthony Quinlivan's going to pick it up. Quinlivan fires it around the boards. Persicino's going to pick it up. He goes D-to-D over to Mullen. Mullen's going to get that breakout pass over to Liam. Liam able to chip that out to Tyler Boris, and now a 2-on-2 coming here with Tyler Boris and Anthony Quinlivan. Tyler Boris walks down. Goalie made the save, but wasn't sure where the puck was. Anthony can't get the shot. Now Tyler Boris is going to pick it up. Less than 3 minutes here remaining in the period. Tyler Boris works it around. He goes backdoor. And a backhand between the legs shot on net for Anthony Quinlivan. The goalie is able to play it to himself and catch it out of the air. 2:45 remaining here in the second period. It'll be an offensive zone draw for Shrewsbury, who still trails St. John's by 3 goals. Tepper, and Russo out for Shrewsbury. Connell Persicino and Tommy Belbin back on defense. Colonials have gotten some great chances here so far this game, but have only been able to cash in on one. James Tepper comes away with that. But it's chipped out. Now Tommy Belbin's racing with St. John's forward. Takes him along the side. He's able to get around a couple players. His shot goes high and wide. And that'll get out of the zone as Jack Tepper picks it up. Jack Tepper trying to get by one defenseman. Passes it over to James. James looking over for Cole Russo. Cole Russo doesn't get there in time. Now St. John's has it. They're coming out of the zone. Again, Tommy Belbin racing down the side. That shot again goes high and wide. And with 2:17 remaining here in the second period, the puck will come outside the Shrewsbury zone. Albertson, Holloway, and O'Connor coming onto the ice here for Shrewsbury. Tommy Belbin and Connell Persicino will remain back in defense. Face-off play to the side. St. John's going to enter the zone with it. That shot goes high and wide. Persicino wins the race to it. Peeks it alongside. Holloway with a good hit there, but the puck kept in by St. John's. Then it slipped out of the zone. We go all the way down. St. John's picks it up inside the defensive zone with Albertson racing on. Good stick lift there from St. John's as O'Connor was racing with the puck. Now Persicino has it. His bank passes right through a St. John's player. Good back check there by O'Connor as he's able to play that man down. And Albertson picks up the puck and takes it away from him. Albertson tries to play it behind the net. Clearing attempt was too soft though, so now O'Connor's kicking it up. O'Connor's got Holloway on his left. O'Connor fires it in. Now Holloway's chasing after it. Holloway wins the race to the puck. Throws it off behind the net. St. John's picks it up in the corner. Pass up is good, but a 1-on-2 now here for St. John's. Good play there by the defense. That was Sam McManus able to play that man away from the puck. Now Mullen sends it around for Albertson. Albertson's chip attempt is no good. St. John's is able to keep it in there. O'Connor has it. He backhands it around. Cam Mullen racing after it, but St. John's is going to win the race. They get it towards the net. Goes wide now. Albertson racing after it in the opposite corner. Albertson's able to get a stick on that, but that's kept in by St. John's. Good hit there by O'Connor, but St. John's has the puck now behind the net. Chipped out to the point. That shot's blocked by O'Connor. Tyler Boris is on the ice for Shrewsbury, but Holloway and O'Connor haven't yet been able to, Albertson and O'Connor haven't yet been able to keep the line change. Now Tyler Boris has it. Can't get around with that player though. Now St. John's has it coming up ice. It's chipped by McManus. Anthony Quinlivan's going to win the race to it with 40 seconds remaining here in the second period. Quinlivan, and Boris are all on the ice now for Shrewsbury. Puck is hit away from Quinlivan, and now St. John's coming up ice with it. That pass ahead is good. Great job there by Shaughnessy to stick the leg out and then get his glove on that as another St. John's player was coming in for the rebound. 25 seconds remaining, another Shrewsbury turnover. And defensive mishap almost led to another St. John's goal, but a great play there by Shaughnessy. Good recovery by Shrewsbury. And with 25 seconds here in the second period, Shrewsbury will take another defensive zone draw. Still Quinlivan and Boris for Shrewsbury. As Anthony set to take the D-zone draw. St. John's wins that one. They win the race 2-2 and they get one on net. Shaughnessy plays that to the side. Now Anthony has it. Anthony's pass behind Liam and then bounces too far ahead of him. But that's picked up by Tom Belbin. Tom Belbin's going to throw one in. Takes a weird bounce, but the goalie's able to play it with under 10 seconds remaining. St. John's has it. They fire it all the way down. Tom Belbin's going to get it. He flips it ahead. St. John's picks it up in the neutral zone, but that'll be the end of the period. It was 3-0 after 1. It's 4-1 here after 2. Shrewsbury is on the board, but still trails St. John's by 3 goals. Heading into the second intermission. They're looking for a great comeback here against their long-term rival. We're here now for the third period at North Star. Quinlivan and Boris will start for Shrewsbury. Persicino and Tommy Belbin back on D. Anthony wins that one to Tyler Boris, but St. John's pokes it away and brings it into the zone. We're back to the point. That shot's on net. Shaughnessy, with no screen in front of him, easily able to play that. Just 12 seconds here into the period. Quinlivan now set to take the face-off in the defensive zone. He wins it back. Belbin's eventually able to get there. Quinlivan plays over to Boris, and then Boris back to Anthony. Anthony doesn't quite push it ahead far enough to himself. Persicino's going to pick that up in the defensive zone. Persicino's pass behind Anthony. St. John's picks it up. They're going to throw it back in the zone, delayed offsides. And the Persicino chips it up to Anthony, who leaves it for Boris. Sent back to Anthony, who sends it all the way around for Liam. Liam wins that race for the puck. Anthony overskates it, and St. John's is going to pick it up and bring it out of the zone. They chip it ahead. Tom Belbin steps up, play towards center ice. St. John's has it. They fire it on net. Shaughnessy easily plays that and sends it over to Liam. Liam able to get around one player, but then has to backhand it under the zone where St. John's is going to pick it up and throw it back in. That again on Shaughnessy, who's going to pick it up and plays it over to Persicino. Persicino chips it out. St. John's is going to pick that one up in the neutral zone, though. St. John's carries his puck into the offensive zone. Persicino with a good step up. He's able to play that. Persicino can't find the puck for a second, though, as James Tepper was flying. That shot towards the net. Tommy Belbin got a piece of it. Shaughnessy's able to cover that one up. And it'll be a defensive zone face-off here for Shrewsbury. 1 minute and 24 seconds into the third period. Tepper, Russo on the ice here for Shrewsbury. Tommy Belbin's being joined by Sam McManus. Tepper's able to tie his man up, leave that one for McManus. Belbin gets it and fires into the corner. Belbin plays that one up, but Russo's not quite there. St. John's able to keep that one in back into the corner, but Belbin now has it in the corner. He flips it ahead. Russo sends it up to Jack Tepper, who loses the puck. But then Jack Tepper on the second effort gets it over to James. James fakes one man out. Stick handles around another couple. But then it's James Tepper with stick handling at the blue line. Russo jumped offsides. Faceoff's going to come outside the St. John's zone here, as Cam Mullen and Connell Persicino are coming onto the ice to play defense for Shrewsbury. Jack Tepper bearing down on the faceoff. He pushes it ahead. Russo pushes it forward. Gets sent out, and Mullen's going to get it. He looks to fire it back in, but that goes up to St. John's leg. Russo gets it, and he flips it all the way into the corner and chases after it. Good pressure there by Russo, but St. John's has it now. They go behind the net, and the defenseman's going to pick it up in the corner. That puck kept in there by Mullen. Tepper now races for it. He goes to the slot. He shoots, and a good save there by St. John's. That goes up and out of play. 12:45 left here in the third period. Good effort there by James Tepper. He got a good shot on net, but a good save there. Keeps it out. And Shrewsbury will take an offensive zone draw here now as the O'Connor, Albertson, and Holloway line comes onto the ice to play for the Colonials. Peter Belbin and Mike Walton, the defense back from Shrewsbury. Faced off one by St. John's with the corner. They wrap it all the way around. Walton keeps it in, but right to a St. John's player. St. John's now has a 2-on-1 coming up on Peter Belbin. Great job there by Peter Belbin able to block that pass across. St. John's still has possession of it though in their offensive zone. They're working the puck down low. St. John's looking out front. Alberts is able to get a piece of that pass but can't get it out. St. John's throws it back in deep and wins the race to the puck. Good job there by Mike Walton, but he's going to be assessed a penalty. That's called the cross check there by Mike Walton with 12:14 left in the third period. The Colonials would be on the penalty kill once again. Anthony Quinlivan and Tyler Boris off on the boards for Shrewsbury. Persicino and Tommy Belbin are going to be back killing the penalty for the Colonials. St. John wins that face-off. Works it over. They look for a backdoor pass. It's intercepted by Anthony. He's able to get the clear. Gets all the way back into the St. John zone. Tyler Boris chasing that man and passes the puck up. Anthony's able to steal that away. He goes over for Persicino. Persicino with time and space to make a play. And he'll fire it all the way back down. Puck play behind that there. Anthony's going to pick it up. He wins that race. He looks up for Tyler Boris. Pass just a few inches too far ahead for Tyler Boris, who's going to leave it in the corner. Great penalty kill here from the Colonials. Tyler Boris and Anthony Quinlivan doing a good job working the puck down low. Tyler Boris is going to catch up to that one. He gets to run one player now. St. John's will pick that one up, but 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining here on the penalty. Puck gets chipped in where Tommy Belbin's going to chase it down. St. John's gets it. They work it over to the point. They work it into the high slot. Good save there by Shaughnessy. Rebounds out. St. John's gets it. Loses it. Anthony's able to get that one out. 1 minute left here now on the penalty to Mike Walton. St. John's about to carry it inside the zone. Pass over is intercepted by Liam. Liam's able to get that one out, and that'll go all the way down. Great penalty kills here so far by Shrewsbury. It's Liam and James Tepper on the ice for Shrewsbury as forwards. Passes are complete. McManus will step up on that one. Good read there by Sam McManus playing defense on the penalty kill. He chips it ahead for James Tepper. St. John's picks it up for a second but loses the puck. Tepper puts it ahead looking over for Liam. Liam can't quite get there. St. John's will pick it up. Can't bring it into the zone cleanly there now. Tepper's able to hit that one away. Now Liam's all over that player. St. John's now able to bring the puck into the zone clearly. But Tepper's able to hit that one away. And then Liam gets a piece of that as St. John's tries to bring it in. Only 10 seconds now left in the penalty. St. John's will just dump it in. McManus is going to win that race to the puck. He fires it up, but St. John's is able to win that race. That player using the ref as a shield as he goes around McManus. Penalty expires now, but St. John's possession of the puck inside their offensive zone. They're cycling down low. St. John's leaves it there for the point. Good shot block there by Cole Russo. St. John's, though, still has possession of it inside the Shrewsbury zone. That shot is easily handled by Shaughnessy. Just under 10 minutes remaining in the game. Colonials will take a defensive zone faceoff, still down 3-0 to St. John's. It's Holloway, Albertson, and O'Connor coming to the ice for Shrewsbury. Tommy Belbin being joined by Cam Mullen back on defense. O'Connor's able to win that faceoff. I believe he's 2 for 3 tonight. That gets cleared all the way around. No ice here as St. John's will pick it up inside their defensive zone. Pass takes a weird bounce. Cam Mullen will step up on it. Good keep in there by Cam Mullen. And again, Cam Mullen able to get a piece of that. Then wins the race to it. Cam Mullen with possession of the puck inside the zone now. He goes over for looking for O'Connor. Gets hit ahead by a St. John's defenseman. And a great tip there. That's up the post and in. Great effort by Cam Mullen to start that play, keeping the puck in the zone multiple times and then getting one over. And the O'Connor, Holloway, and Albertson line working it down low and able to get one in. 9:28 remaining here in the game. Shrewsbury only trails St. John's 4-2 now, as Quinlivan and Boris will come onto the ice to play forward for Shrewsbury. It was Danny Holloway with the goal. With 2 attempts, one went off the post, but he was able to put the second one in after the deflection. Boris comes away with that off the face-off as the Colonials only trail 2 now. Tommy Belbin sends that one forward. Liam has it. Liam throws one towards the net. That's played to the side by the goalie. Liam gets back over to Liam. Liam shoots with no angle. That's a good save there by the goalie. St. John's has it now. Tommy Belbin was going for a change. St. John's is able to clear the puck out of the zone there. Good hit by Liam, and now Anthony's going to pick it up and get it inside the zone. 9 minutes remaining here in the period. Tyler Boris tries to chip that one to himself, but it goes off to St. John's leg, and now St. John's will bring the puck up ice. They fire a win on our net. Shaughnessy will easily play that. He gets it over to McManus. McManus banks it over to Persicino. Persicino goes up to Tyler Boris. And Boris will go far for Liam Quinlivan. Liam Quinlivan bringing in the left side now. He makes a move. He's in the high slot. He shoots. Good save there. Anthony goes for the rebound. The goalie had already covered up the puck. There's 8:37 left here in the third period. And the Tepper and Cole Russo line are coming into the ice now for Shrewsbury as the Colonials only trail by 2. Persicino and McManus still on the ice here for Shrewsbury as Jack Tepper gets set for the offensive zone draw. St. John's wins that face-off. They play it all the way around. St. John's forward gets there and they bring it up ice. Getting the red line, make a pass over. That move goes around. He's able to get around Shaughnessy, but that goes off the post. Eventually kicked to the side. Persicino couldn't get a stick on it, but he eventually was able to kick it away. That one gets thrown to the net, but that was blocked by McManus out in front. St. John's still with the puck down low. Good play by McManus, able to play that player away. And then Jack Tepper hits him away from the puck. Persicino gets it up to James Tepper, and now Colonials have a 3-on-3 coming up ice. That went just offside as James Tepper stick handle at the blue line, and now Jack Tepper, after slashing the St. John's player's stick after the whistle, with 8:03 remaining here in the period, Jack Tepper's being sent to the box for a slash. Just over 8 minutes remaining here in the game. The Colonials will again be shorthanded. Mullen and Persicino to play D, and it's going to be Anthony and Tyler Boris killing the penalty for Shrewsbury. Shrewsbury wins the face-off. Backhanded clear attempt wasn't good enough. Tyler Boris was able to get a piece of that. St. John's still with possession of it inside the zone. They look out front. Pass is no good. Then they get a shot. And 14 seconds into the power play, St. John's is able to score. With 7:49 remaining here in the third, it's 5-2 Pioneers. St. John's fans here claiming title of the town of Westboro here. Anthony Quinlivan will take the face-off with Liam and Tyler Boris as line mates. St. John's wins the face-off back. Anthony has it now, gets around one player, but loses the puck trying to get around another. St. John's picks it up. That player stood up in the neutral zone by Liam Quinlivan. Anthony gets the puck up to Liam. Liam loses the puck as he tries to go around one player. Anthony can't quite pick it up. St. John's now entering the offensive zone with it. They get a shot. Good job there by Tommy Belbin to get a stick on it. Anthony Quinlivan plays it up. Liam's going to dish it far over to Tyler Boris. Tyler Boris racing for it. He's able to get there. He can't get that over to Anthony. Now Tyler Boris still has possession of it. He gets it up to Tom Belbin. Belbin throws it on net, but that's the play by the defenseman. Now St. John's has it, and they're coming out of the zone with it. Cam Mullen will win that race to the puck with 7 minutes left remaining in the period. Goes out to the neutral zone, and now St. John's has the neutral zone. They throw it all the way in. Tyler Boris now has it, and he draws a tripping penalty. Tommy Belbin picks it up. Shaughnessy comes off with the extra man, and even though St. John's doesn't get a touch, the ref blows the whistle, and with 6:45 remaining here in the third period, the Colonials will be on the power play for the next 2 minutes, down 3 goals for St. John's. We're back here in Westboro as Quinlivan and James Tepper set for the power play for Shrewsbury. Anthony will take the face-off here. Anthony wins it back to Tyler Boris at the point. Boris plays it back over to Anthony. Connor Persicino, you have the defenseman. Anthony shoots. That's swallowed up by the goalie. Just 8 seconds here into the power play. It'll be another offensive zone draw for Shrewsbury. It's Anthony bears down to take the face-off. Ruff blows that play dead after a second. With 1:51 remaining here in the penalty, it'll be another Shrewsbury offensive zone face-off. Anthony's able to win that one over to Liam. Liam shoots. Save made. James Tepper with it behind the net. Fighting for it. He pushes it over to the corner. Tepper gets it up to Persicino at the point. Persicino goes back to James Tepper. Tepper with no angle. He shoots. That goes high and wide. Comes all the way up to Tyler Boris at the point. Boris is to the puck, and now St. John's has it going the other way. That's a breakaway for St. John's. Persicino racing back. Shaughnessy is easily up to play that one. Wasn't a good move made by the forward as he started to lose the puck because he got close to Shaughnessy. Now Tyler Boris has it, and he takes it up behind the net. Minute 10 seconds remaining here on the St. John's penalty. Tyler Boris gets around one player, pass up to James Tepper, loses it. Now entering the zone with is Liam Quinlivan. Quinlivan passed into a St. John's stick. Tyler Boris is able to get a piece of it, and then Anthony's able to pick up the puck. Anthony making a move now towards the net. Gets pushed into the corner. Anthony's going to keep the puck. Anthony still has possession, moves out to James Tepper. Tepper at the point, takes a shot. That goes off Liam's back. It's right out in front. Tyler Boris ends up with it. He's at the point. Now Anthony picks it up. Anthony works himself into the slot. Tepper picks it up. Colin Persicino has it. He fires one towards the net, but that gets blocked. James Tepper can't get around that defenseman. St. John's has it, and they're going to get the clear. Less than 30 seconds now remaining on the power play for Shrewsbury. Tyler Boris is going to pick it up inside the defensive zone. Boris speeds up ice with it now. He takes a slap shot. Good block there by St. John's. Tyler Boris now has it. He sauces it over to Persicino. Persicino fires one towards the net. It's deflected in front by Anthony, but into the St. John's goalie. Anthony comes away with it still. Only a couple seconds now left on the penalty. That pass goes off a skate. The penalty has expired now. St. John's has the puck. And they flip it ahead, and that pass is caught. It's a breakaway here for St. John's. Another one. That move, that's the save by Shaughnessy. Great job by Shaughnessy on that breakaway. He's had to block several of those so far tonight. St. John's pass in front is picked off by Sam O'Connor. And now Tyler Boris and a St. John's player both being called for a penalty. 4:27 left in the game. And whether it's 4-on-4 or 5-on-5, it'll be even when we come back. It'll remain 5-on-5 as O'Connor, Holloway, and Albertson come onto the ice for Shrewsbury with 4:27 remaining. Peter and Tommy Belbin on the defense. O'Connor set to take the face-off here in the Shrewsbury zone. O'Connor's able to win that face-off, but Peter can't play cleanly. St. John's has possession of it. They're trying to tie it up down low. O'Connor plays that one far to Holloway. St. John's is able to keep that one in, fighting through the Holloway hit. Picked it up in the slot, but that goes wide. Peter Belbin comes away with that one. Gets it out of the zone, but St. John's picks it up and fires it back in. Tom Belbin has it now as he takes it behind the net with 4 minutes remaining in the period. Belbin's pass goes off a stick, but Holloway's going to get it. Holloway can't get it out. St. John's takes it out on their own now, and they have it in the neutral zone. Now Albertson comes out, goalie comes out to play that one. That pass was caught. Now St. John's coming up with it now on the far left side. He's alone. Played easily there by Shaughnessy. Belbin couldn't get all of it. And now a penalty here being called on Shrewsbury. It's going to be an elbow on Sam O'Connor. 3:33 remaining here in the period. O'Connor going to the box for the Colonials, and they'll be down 5-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. That was O'Connor, called for an elbow behind the play. Anthony will take the face-off here with Shrewsbury. He's got Paul Russo and Liam Quinlivan with him. St. John's comes away with that. The pass goes out of the zone, though. Persicino, the fourth penalty killer for Shrewsbury. That's called onside. That's Cam Troyle back there on defense for the Colonials. Shrewsbury now has possession of it. Sorry, St. John's has possession of it inside the Shrewsbury zone. Troyle's able to play that one away, but St. John's comes away with the puck at the point now. St. John's working it down low on the power play. Forward gets around, gets a shot. Save there by Shaughnessy. 37 seconds now gone from the penalty. 2:56 remaining in the game. The Colonials still trail St. John's 5-2. Leonis and McManus now the defense for Shrewsbury. And James Tepper, and now Cole Russo are out for Shrewsbury, killing this penalty. Tepper's able to win that face-off all the way down. Goalie has to play that one, and he'll play it to the side. St. John's on the power play and with the lead and no rush to break the puck out of the zone. Entering the Shrewsbury zone with it now. Good job there by McManus to block that pass, but St. John's still with the puck at the point now. They go to DDD. That one looking for backdoor. Pass goes wide, then that shot was blocked by James Tepper. James Tepper was ready to fly, but couldn't pick the puck up on his way, and now St. John's still has possession of it. 50 seconds now remaining in the penalty. St. John's with that at the point. They fire one towards the net. That's deflected out front. And Shaughnessy made the initial shot off the deflection there, but St. John's puts the rebound in. There's 2:17 remaining in the game, and St. John's is now taking a 6-2 lead over the Colonials. Albertson's about to take this face-off with Holloway and Delaney on the ice for Shrewsbury. Noah Jaware coming onto the ice to play goalie for Shrewsbury. Troyo and Mike Walton are back on D. St. John's wins that face-off back. Mike Walton steps up. That gets by one St. John's player and goes all the way down. Goalie plays it, but Holloway wins the race to it. St. John's wins the puck battle there and gets it all the way around, though. That pass intercepted out front by Holloway. Holloway from the high slot falls as he shoots. Albertson's going to win a race to that one. Delaney and Albertson now fighting for the puck down low. Albertson gets it over to Delaney. Delaney throws it out front for Holloway, but that bounces by, and now St. John's has it coming up on a 3-on-2 on Walton and Troyo. St. John's player there loses the puck, and Delaney tries to backhand it out, but can't get it out. Noah misplaces that, but is able to make the save, and it goes into the corner. St. John's has it. That goes off of Delaney's skate. Good job blocking the pass there. And now Delaney will have it, and he'll clear it out. That was called an ice here with 1:22 remaining in the game. Puck's going to come all the way back into the Shrewsbury zone. Six skaters on the ice currently for Shrewsbury. Liam goes off, and so Colby Boris will remain on the ice. St. John's wins that face-off. They have it at the point. Defenseman whiffs on the shot and throws it off net. That's played to the side over by Leonis. St. John's still with possession of it now. Cole Russo with a nice hit down low. But that St. John's player comes away with the puck. Colby Boris rushing the point there, but St. John's has it. They throw it on net, and that's easily played by Noah Jaware. Minute 2 remaining here in the game. Colonial still trail by 4. It's Leonis and McManus back on D. Delaney, Russo, and Colby Boris, the forwards for Shrewsbury. Well, Russo comes away with it. He's able to bank it out. St. John's has it in neutral zone. And then an offsides there for St. John's. And because of where the pass came from, that puck will come all the way to the other side of the neutral zone, just outside the St. John's zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, my request is please, at the conclusion of this game, when you come off the bleachers, you may take a right and go out the rear door of the farm. Once again, you may take a right and go out the rear door of the farm.
Russo plays that one forward. St. John's wraps it around. Delaney can't get there, and then Boris can't get a piece of that, and so Shrewsbury will play it back, and it's a delayed offside to the Colonials. St. John's will pick it up inside their zone. Boris can't quite get there, but he's all over that forward. Good job there by Boris to play his man off the puck as Russo picks it up now in the corner. Russo looking over for Delaney, but Delaney can't quite get there. St. John's now with possession. Pass is no good coming up ice, but they come in on a 2-on-1. Good job there by McManus, able to play that one out of the zone. 20 seconds now remaining. St. John's throws it in. Noah doesn't play that one behind the puck, and so Mike Walton will pick it up. Still a delayed outside for Shrewsbury, so Mike Walton will have plenty of space to move up with it. Delaney now has it in the neutral zone. He gets checked down as he pushes ahead. That puck is out of the zone. McManus will chase it down, but only a couple seconds remaining. And for the first time in 2 years, the Shrewsbury Colonials boys ice hockey team lose the game. The loss is 6-2 to St. John's. Shrewsbury falls to 4-1-1 on the season. Their next game is going to be against Groton Dunstable at the Groton School on January 10th at 7 p.m. We hope to see you there.